Good morning. It is 6:34 on July 7th. We are hiking down, got a little bit of a view. You missed the sunrise earlier over on the other side. We're facing west now. Got a picture of it though. There's some really nice dark reddish pink colors around the mountain. You couldn't actually see the sun when it was rising. It was behind a mountain, but behind that mountain were just some awfully pretty colors and some nice sky. So pleasant views this morning, which is good because everything else has been shit. No, just a little unexpected snow. Thought we were through the most of it, but last 4 miles of yesterday and then the first 3 or so miles today has been mostly snow traverse, but we're on dry trail now, so I'm gonna stop complaining. But so far this morning we put this little bitty hole right here in the snow. There was a branch that I caught my shoulder on, and then there was a log not too dissimilar from this but a bit smaller that I went to step over, and well, we ended up gashing ourselves up a little bit. Nothing major, but still, like, this morning's been a little bit annoying so far. So here's to hoping things get better from here. We'll find out. But yeah, big miles yesterday. We ended up being successful in our 30-mile day. I think we did 31.4. And the first 28 were great. After that, we started to get into the snow and things slowed down, and glad we got through what we did. Split up that section, found a dry patch to camp on. I think overall that was probably a good thing, but yeah, man, ready to be done with the snow entirely. But there we go. It doesn't all happen at once, and that's okay. So I got service for a quick moment yesterday. Was able to check my email, and the lady from Osprey said she would send me an email when my backpack leaves their warehouse with tracking information so I can stay informed and know when my backpack will be in Quincy. Well, I haven't gotten that email yet, so I shot her an email asking, but it's Friday. If I wanted to, I could be in Quincy tomorrow. It was like 55-ish miles, I think 57 from where we camped last night. So looking like probably Sunday morning, but I could be there tomorrow, Saturday, if we did a couple of big days. We're not going to. We're going to do about 26 today. We'll talk on that here in just a second. But yeah, if that backpack doesn't get there in time, I might be spending some good quality time in Quincy, California, which would suck. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to keep me, it's not a trip end or anything like that, just a bit of an annoyance and inconvenience. But we'll see. I'm hoping that it ends up coming in. Maybe she just forgot to email me. We'll see. But today, like I said, 26 and a half miles is what we're looking for. There's only one camping spot listed on Far Out in a matter of 28 miles. So honestly, I didn't look real close at the topo, but I'm guessing that there are other flat places in a 28-mile stretch. But I think we're going through the Bear Fire. So probably the longest section of burn areas are coming up. We've got the Bear Fire, which I think we're going to hit that in the afternoon today. And I think that's like a 20-mile stretch or something. And then we've got the Dixie Fire, but we won't hit that until just north of Quincy. So there will be some burn area, some not burn area, and then a lot more burn area next resupply. I think of 105 miles, 86 of it or something like that is burnt. So that's gonna kind of stink, but that goes under the category of things that we can't control. So who knows, 86 miles, maybe we'll do some big days. I'd like to not camp and stay and hang out in burn areas longer than I have to. They're just kind of drab. They're more dangerous. There's, more trees and branches falling. There's dead trees, so roots not holding the ground together makes for rock slides. And on top of that, it's just not a whole lot of fun to look at, and you end up getting char and ash everywhere. So minimizing the burn zones is going to be ideal, but difficult, seeing as geographically where we're at. So we'll see, but that's about it for today. Passed another couple hikers yesterday, and saw some day hikers out. Didn't talk to one of the hikers that we passed. They were off trail camping. Saw them back there, but just kept it moving, didn't bug them. But yeah, we're seeing some folks. It's not as desolate as it was in the Sierra, but still not as many people as I expected, honestly. I was expecting to start seeing some people that had flipped or skipped or whatever their strategy was to stay out of the snow. And that really hasn't happened yet, so we'll see. Maybe north of Quincy, maybe north of Chester. Maybe they're already gone and we're the last kids on the back of the bus. I don't know. And yeah, it is what it is. But we're doing pretty good. I don't think we necessarily need anybody else, but just kind of expected to see some people. So we'll see. But that's it for now. Not a whole lot of great views at the moment, but we got a nice little forest to walk through, so I reckon I'll show you that. All right, till next time. Hey, it is Saturday, July 8th, about 6:20 in the morning. Been hiking for right around an hour. And yeah, we're in a burn zone, so look at all the magical burnt trees. It's actually not that bad of a burn zone. It's obviously an older burn. So yeah, the trees are kind of blackened, but there's some undergrowth. There's no charcoal underneath. As long as you don't rub up against a tree, you don't get black soot all over you. So as far as the burn zone goes, it's actually not terrible. Hoping that the Dixie Fire burn zone is that way, but I doubt it. I think that one was a bit more recent. But either way, it's town day, I think. From where we camped last night, we ended up doing a little bit of a bigger day, went a little bit further than we intended, to get to a little bit of a better spot water-wise. We were still dry camping, but we had a water source just a couple of tenths of a mile before we got to camp, so that makes for a whole lot nicer than what we were originally planning, which was, I think, 4, 5, 6 miles without water before camp. So you gotta carry anything, all your cooking water, anything like that, just makes it a little bit more of a pain. So did almost 29, I think 28.7 yesterday. Definitely burning a little bit hotter than I think what we're gonna try to average. We've been burning it on both ends, not having a lot of time at camp, pretty much just hike, get to camp, eat dinner, go to bed, wake up, do it all over again. And you know, that's fun for a little while, but I think we'll dial it back just a little bit here once we get on the other side of Quincy. So right now we're on a descent to what I've been told is a great swimming hole. We're gonna hit it kind of early for a swimming hole, and we've got a big climb afterward that I'd like to do before it gets terribly hot. So we'll see how we're feeling, but might end up skipping that one, unfortunately. But we shall see. Not counting anything out. I'm at least take a look at it before I decide if I'm getting in or not. But I would guess, just with how today is looking, that it's not great timing wise. So good news on my backpack. Got service for just a short bit yesterday. Got confirmation from Osprey that they did send my backpack out, and it's already arrived. So when I get into town, should be able to pick that up, get everything moved over into the new pack. And so Trail Angel said he was gonna be able to give me a hand getting the other backpack sent out. So here's to hoping. We're not gonna try to set up a ride this evening into town. Where we're going is Bucks Lake is on the west side of the trail, and Quincy is on the east side of the trail. And Bucks Lake is a place that people have a tendency to go on the weekend and then come back in the evening. And we're going to be getting to the road, should be about 4 o'clock this evening, give or take. And I think that's going to be about perfect timing on a Saturday to try to hitch into town. So we'll see. We'll try to find a ride out once we get into town. But should be a pretty quick in and out. Quincy's just about a 2.5-3 day walk. So we don't need to buy a whole lot. Pack should still be fairly light, not a ton of food and resupply. And yeah, so this is the trail. Can't really see much unless you look like straight down. It's kind of what we've been dealing with. This part's just a bit overgrown. Not a lot of people have been here because of all the snow further down south where we just came from. A lot of people are skipping up further north than this, so not a ton of foot traffic to beat down all this shrubbery that's overgrowing onto the trail. But it's all good. I will take this over snow any day. Oh yeah, quick update on snow, and then I'm gonna stop rambling. So yesterday, after our little update, there was more snow, but not a terrible amount. There was kind of a sketchy downhill traverse that we had to do. It wasn't bad. It was melted out enough that I was able to find dry patches, which was good because the grade that it was on without microspikes would have been not the most fun thing in the world to try to deal with. But we made it through. And ran into a couple of hikers yesterday. 3 in fact, 2 that had just gotten on trail at Sonora, and 1 that was heading Sobo, had flipped up to Ashland, was heading Sobo, so he had seen all the trail up ahead of us, and he said, we're pretty much through the snow, which we kind of already knew that, but feels good to have it verified by somebody in real life instead of on the computer webs that has seen it with their own 2 eyes themselves, and they're right in front of you. So that feels pretty good. Hopefully next update I'll be wearing a different backpack. We shall see how that goes. But yeah, I think that's about it. It's a good day, at least so far, but it's early yet. But yeah, big miles and town today. I think we're gonna start doing more of that. Maybe not 25. 25 is kind of on the upper end. We'll see how that goes with what time we get into town, if we're able to get out of town tonight, or if we get stuck there and have to spend the night. Like, I think what we got going for us is that me and Beach are both not necessarily huge planners, and we don't mind flying by the seat of our pants a little bit, and we are genuinely really flexible with regards to most things, like sleeping arrangements and stuff like that. I mean, really all we need is a place to throw our backpacks down and set up an air mat. So whether that's a yard, a lawn, a city park, or a drainage culvert after dark that nobody can see it in, that one would be a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but we'd do it if we had to. But that kind of gives us an advantage. You know, we're not super bougie and need a nice 3-star hotel to chill out in or anything like that. So that makes town arrangements a little bit easier. We'll just head in there and see what happens. Hopefully get out tonight. If we don't know, well, we'll figure it out while we're there. So, all right, well, I'm gonna try to figure out where the hell this trail goes. Until next time. Hey, it is 7:20, Sunday, July 9th, and we're just north of Quincy. Ended up doing a 24.3 mile day and a resupply yesterday. I don't know if we'll be doing that regularly. It was kind of a lot, but we got it done, and we're back on trail. Got back to the trail yesterday about 8:30, got camp set up, and was getting in bed just as the sun was going down, which I like getting to bed before that, or at least having everything set up, being inside of my tent. It's harder to kill the mosquitoes and all the bugs when you're trying to use your headlamp. I did not do a very good job last night. There were a ton of mosquitoes in the tent with me. They didn't bug me, but woke up this morning. Since we had a big day yesterday, we were planning on sleeping in just a touch. So sleeping for us is start by 6 instead of 5:30. So woke up this morning and played the massacre game and killed all the mosquitoes, and man, about 5-6 of them, something like that. Had my blood in them, so got little blood stains all over the inside of my tent, so that's really fun and exciting. Wow, that's a nice view. We had just been walking through that forest for the last mile or two. Hadn't seen a ton of outlooks yet, so that's nice. But yeah, so yesterday was the first day Beach pointed this out since May 29th that we didn't have snow. So only like 6 weeks-ish, 5.5. Yeah, so hopefully there's more of that ahead. We already walked on a little bit of snow today, but it was flat and didn't slow us down. Oh, these are the obstacles that we get to deal with. But I'll take this over snow any day. So, yeah, yesterday got to the trailhead, got to the road, about 3:40, I think. Got a hitch within half an hour, which wasn't bad, especially there's not a ton of traffic on that road. But had a guy pick us up. He was really nice. I forget his name, but he was worked for the Forest Service. Did like fire control and stuff like that. Nice guy. Gave us a ride to Yaba Adventures or Exploration. I don't know. The place that had my backpack, and it's on. Seems to fit all right, so that's good. I did change the sizing. I'm kind of in between, so I went with the smaller size. Seems to work all right. I'm not even on the largest adjustment. I got one more to go if I need it. So pretty happy with that. Went and got a bite to eat. Down to the grocery store. Got a resupply. Got back over by the pub. It was about a 3/4 of a mile walk. Get back over there. And we saw somebody at the pub. He was a trail angel, and he had told us, yeah, just go stick your thumb out over by that red brick building right there, and someone will pick you up. Well, that guy was wrong, but in the best way possible. We got back over there, took our packs off, put them down literally before we can even put our thumbs out. There's somebody across the street saying, hey, you need a ride to the trailhead? It's like, oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me. You never get that lucky. So, that was really needed. I mean, we would have made it work either way, but it was nice to get back to camp or get back to the trail and set up camp while the sun was still up, and that wouldn't have been possible otherwise, because it was dark pretty shortly after we got there. But that's about it for today. We had a couple miles up in the morning. We got 4 miles of relatively flat, and by relatively flat, I mean it's not flat. There's still 800 up and 800 up, 800 down over the next, like, I think 5.5 miles to the water that I'm gonna get right before we go downhill. And then we go straight downhill for like 10 miles. Pretty steep too, at least in parts. Down into Belden. Belden sometimes kind of recognizes the halfway point. It's not quite there, but it's in between there and Chester. Chester's only a day or two away, so yeah, we're getting close to halfway anyway. Feels good. Yeah, probably do a little bit smaller mileage than what we've been doing on full days. Probably about 25 today or so, similar to yesterday. But had a hot meal yesterday. Belden's got a restaurant and it's right on trail, so gonna do all I can to get a hot meal today. I did see something saying about good luck, hope the kitchen's open for you, so it doesn't seem like it's been open for everybody. So we'll see. I like hot meals. That'd be my first choice, but if not, I've got enough food that we'll be all right either way. But next stop is Old Station, about 4 days from now. Need to average about 25 miles a day, so doing 25 today is gonna keep us right on par. So we got to figure out what we want to do with that one. It's a little over 100 miles away, so if we do 25 a day, we can hit it real early in the morning, or if we could always do that after a long day. I think it's only 0.3 of a mile off trail Old Station is, so we can walk there. We won't be hitching, so that makes that easier logistically. But I've droned on long enough, so I'm gonna shut the hell up. But that's not bad. These nice old growth forests. Oh yeah. We got through the rest of the bear fire. That was from 3 years ago. Dixie Fire was 2 years ago, and that one we're gonna be getting into soon. So actually the burn zone wasn't as bad as I was thinking. I've been through some on the AT that were more recent, and it was just charcoal everywhere and kind of sad and depressing. It wasn't terrible. The old trees, the big trees, were still vertical, standing upright, and the undergrowth was starting to grow back, so there really wasn't a ton of charcoal other than on the base of the trees. So all things considered, it was not too terrible. Let's hope for the same. We'll see. The Dixie fire is 1 year more recent, so I'd imagine it'll probably be a little bit less rejuvenated. So we'll see. All right, until next time.